Hey, welcome back to the channel. We're back here. Let's try that again. Hey, welcome back to the channel. We're going to be doing a little bit of a chit chat about the Denver GamePad, the CMP290R with a 2.5-inch LCD display. So when it comes to buying these, let's say, weird devices here in the Netherlands, we have all kinds of different variations. And I just wanted to do a little bit of a chit chat about this particular one. So is it really worth it? And let me know in the comments in your country, can you buy these weird ones and what are you getting? Because there are so many different brands out there like reselling these devices. However, when it comes to the games, there we find similarities but also very new things. So first of all, the manual, let's see, it's an European manual, or at least like Denver EU, because they are selling it throughout the market over here, having all kinds of different languages. I see German, French, and I think it's even like I think it's Italian somewhere here too. However, there are different brands, and I must say that they're giving you nothing much of an information when it comes to the device. So when we have seen all of these, let's say, cheap devices, $9 devices on AliExpress, so one of the things they don't do over here is having a lithium battery in the inside. I'm guessing this has to do with importing stuff like this and new regulations about, and let's put it this way, it's just way cheaper. You don't need to buy an, let's say, lithium battery. But what is interesting, so we do have the shell that is containing the option to having micro USB and also an AV out, the stuff that we mostly see on those AliExpress devices, having an on-off switch over here, volume control. There is no micro SD card. No, this is actually it. So let's open it up. Man, I really hate that they're using these shoes. Or did I? No, okay, it's actually locked. Ugh. But let's take a close look at, let's say, the device and the batteries. I would not recommend mixing, but this is the stuff I'm actually had laying around. And yep, it seems to be booting up, so that is great. So it's kind of interesting to see that we do have a compartment that is ready to go for a lithium battery. You can see over here, same like with the micro USB and the TV out at the side. So these shells are just general, they're using them and they're slapping on different brands. I'm guessing if you're going to be ordering this in China, so what you're getting is like, hey, you want to have like a certain model, you can say what kind of games you want on there, particularly when it comes to these homebrew games, and that's it. But let's get into the homebrew games because that's kind of interesting. So first of all, the display they're using is absolutely nice. So let's lower the lights in here. I must say that when you're going to be looking at the display, this is quite nice. So I think I paid like around $10 for this device, so that's okay. So, but the games, you can already see the F-22 over there. A lot of similar games we have seen of those arcade machines. And what is interesting, particularly when it comes to this list, is that where most of these games are really bad or like crappy homebrew or like mixed or custom games, some of them are kind of interesting because they're like ripping off original games from the NES. I have seen Bomberman, I have seen Lode Runner, I think I saw some, sometimes you can even find the balloon fight game where they completely like mix it all up, like a completely different kind of, I want to say layout, but more like the character sprites, stuff like that. So when you're going to be looking into the game, yeah, there's nothing especially about that. So for example, having a mirror devil word, you know, and there are all kinds of weird stuff. Yeah, that's it. Like that's what we're getting when it comes to this. We can actually reset by pressing the, I would say the select, but it's not like really select, it's actually the reset. So F-22 is kind of cool. I've been playing it a lot on those like mini arcades. This is visual, quite a good game, similar to the 1994 games, like the old school ones. So the gameplay itself is quite interesting. So when you're going to be playing this, you have these upgrades. Man, I love myself smelting with upgrades. So when you're getting hit, you're going to be losing your upgrade, and after hit a couple of times, the game is just over. Another feature I find kind of interesting when you can see like the sliding of the screen. So you're not stuck with a single part of the game, but you cannot always go left and right. So the mechanics of this game is interesting. The D-pad itself plays quite okay. See, now I can actually move to the right. And if you're going to be holding this out for a long time, what I didn't do over here, you're gonna get very cool upgrades. And when you're dead, you're just dead. And you can continue and it just starts over. Yeah, you know, that's one of those games I do like, but when it comes to the mechanics, some of the things they could make way better. Racing Fighter, you know, this is, how is this game called? Road Avenger, Zippy. Okay, so you can actually shoot cars. So, but I don't know if they ripped something off, but this looked really similar. How we had that annoying sound. Man, this game is freaking brutal. There's also no quick load, quick save, so there's also something they should implement. And this thing is filled with all kinds of weird things like pong pong, ping pong, you know, you name it. Like, I was thinking, okay, we're getting some really old school Pong vibes, but no, there's just this car driving around and I have no freaking idea what's going on. You know, I'm guessing it's something like a bumper car. I need to press left or right to actually steer into something. There we go. The sound is really annoying, by the way, but you know, you get the point. And this thing is filled, so let's give me a deep dive into it. Let's see if we can find one of those, let's say, very strange games that is absolutely a rip-off from the NES game, Boat Racer. Oh yeah, this is absolutely that zippy game, but with boats. Yeah. That's actually, yep, the same game, only with boats this time. Okay, so we're having here falling blocks. Let's see what's going on. So, okay, falling blocks, maybe it's Tetris. Let's see what's going on. And yes, we actually do have a freaking Tetris. We have a Tetris ripoff, but it is slightly different. With some different rules. I mean, particularly when it comes to the blocks itself. So yeah, this thing is filled with all kinds of old school goodies. But if you know where to look, you're going to be having a lot of fun. That single block thing is kind of weird. So Roadwalker is more like a pipe fixing game that I've seen before in the NES and Game Boy. But this is more this is just more like basic. What you can do is like choosing what kind of road. So now we're needing a corner. We're needing a bridge. I guess this is it. We need to have like a normal road again. Oh no, wait. We need to remove the blocks and then we need to have a road. Yeah, you know, it's more like a simple puzzle game with a really annoying freaking soundtrack. But how about the inside? There is nothing much with these devices going on. We have seen those 8-bit from AliExpress. I need to be very careful on. I'm going to be ripping something. Yeah, so you can actually see that it is more like partially see-through, meaning that you can see what's going on. So this is the PCB over underneath of the display, also with the black bulb. But when it comes to this kind of games, they're using, of game system, you're using also these very cheap translucent membranes. That is actually what you can feel. Having over here the speaker that is an, I think it's 8 ohm, it's a 0.2, like of a watts. Yeah, that's it. If you're going to be opening up, repairing this is going to be absolutely impossible because there's nothing much to repair. If you have breaking cable, you can actually do that. There's a little bit of an wear and tear going on the cabling, but beside that and the inside, there's nothing much you can do, add games or whatsoever. So what's kind of interesting, there is a kind of a demo mode. If you're going to be holding the A and B button and you're going to be powering it on, you get this funky tune. But then, oh, there we go. Ah, there we go, there he is. And I'm guessing here we can actually test the device, what's going on. A, B, start, the D-pad. I'm guessing they're using this in the factory. Reset. Let's see, we can also get into the menu by holding A, B and reset it. It's weird that it doesn't show instantly. But yeah, it was just like a fun thing to show you here. Nevertheless, when you're going to be looking into these GamePads, I do wonder, let me know, do you find these, let's say, very strange Denver or other brands? What kind of games are they containing? The same ones, but yeah, if you're going to be deep diving into the game list of this, it can be fun. You know, there isn't Tetris. I know there was somewhere like a Load Runner game, and maybe even some other NES knockoffs. Thank you all for watching, consider subscribing, let me know in the comments, and it will be great to see you in the next video.